Hey, before we get started, here's an idea, huh? Here's your daily reminder to like, subscribe, and comment. I like the comments on any YouTube post on our YouTube channel. You can catch all the great action, whether it is Charlie, Hot Mike, Ricky Cobb, myself, Clay. Who knows who else is going to show up? It is simple. OutKick.com. Tommy Laren. Maintaining with Tyrus. Gains for girls. Are you crazy? Go to the OutKick channel now. All right, WNBA. You know, last year, man, the ladies got exposed, and they got exposed for a few things. One, incredibly racist women there, incredibly sexist women there, and incredibly stupid women there. It was all there for you. It was like, damn. When I was in college, our weight coach used to tell me, Dakich, don't ever go around campus without a shirt on. Makes the program look bad. If I were a college and some of these women went to my college, I'd say, look, don't say you went to our college. It makes our college look bad. Seriously, we've chronicled this. Many people have chronicled this all across the media. Many people are afraid we're not. But damn, the level of stupid. I mean, we know they're racist. We understand they expose their ass, literally in some cases, but figuratively in most cases with the whole Caitlin Clark deal. They expose it. They put it out there. Angel Reese style. Show your ass. But, man, we knew they were sexist because the straight girl was kicking their ass and all the lesbians were mad. But the dumb just keeps coming. After playing in the unrivaled league with WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert in attendance, Natasha Cloud is not even the best player on her own team. And she's kind of an idiot. She issued her demand, Natasha did. Natasha is demanding. Let that sink in for a minute. Someone named Natasha Cloud is demanding, listen, that the league start paying players more. And instead of saying money, Cloud referred to it as munyan because she's an unserious person. And they said here with bad pronunciation skills, that just might be some Urban Dictionary thing, or that might must be some slang from somewhere. I don't know. Used to call it moolah. No, just because I call it moolah doesn't mean that I have bad pronunciation skills, but I don't know. I'll tell you this. If I were Kathy Engelbert, I'd sit these idiots down and go, look, fools. You continue to be stupid. Look, fools, you lost $50 million last year. You're making $80,000. Go try to make $80,000 selling your ass somewhere. Because that's, what are you going to do? Go try being on TV, see if anybody will pay you. Go start a podcast. Go start something. There's only very few of you. And Natasha Cloud, you ain't one. Go sit in a cubicle. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just stupid. You know, you lost $50,000 or $50 million. $50 million is what you lost, and you've lost it every single year. Now, I get it. Public pressure dictates that we're all supposed to bend over and go, yay, rah, yay, the girls, yay. Get them private jets, even though we lost $50 million. See, something is never enough. You can use that if you'd like. Something is never enough. Natasha wants more money. Maybe there's somebody that shows up at an NBA game to watch Natasha Cloud. I'm guessing they got in free with her tickets, and that's it. She's not making any money for the league. But here is what Natasha Cloud had to say.
We want our money on, and we want it now. That is first and foremost. And just ultimate investment. I think we've done a really good job over the last few years, and especially over my 10-year career in the W. We've grown so much, but there's so much room left to grow. And obviously you guys see us expanding, but also just prioritizing players. I think we do a really good job here at Unrivaled of prioritizing players and making it a players league. And if we're not happy with something, I know I can go right to Claire myself. I don't have to go through an assistant or around people. Like, she pops her head in just to say happy birthday to me. Like, all those things really matter when you're trying to get a business to continue to grow and people to want to be passionate about it and want to help it grow. So I think Unrivaled, again, is just doing a good job of setting a precedence for all leagues across the board to really talk that talk and walk that walk.
Yeah, that's great, man. Good for you. You want somebody to say happy birthday. Good. The lady, Val Ackerman, wants to make some money in the league. Wants to make some money. Now, you got to remember, Cloud in 2020, she's the one who opted out of the WNBA season. She's a real social justice warrior. No, she is. To become a social justice warrior in 2023, she called America trash. I wouldn't pay her shit. In fact, I'd make her pay me if I were the Unrivaled League. I would make her pay me if I was the WNBA. You know, you can come play with us, but you got to give us 10 grand. No, you got to give us 10 grand. Simple. After the Supreme Court ruled affirmative action practices by major universities were unconstitutional, she also shared that not understanding the non-white experience is the biggest problem in the United States. Yeah, okay. Yeah, sure it is. Yeah, if I understand the non-white experience, then the problems in the United States go away. Oh, bullshit. Black-on-black crime is the biggest batch of crime we have. Just stop. Just stop. But when you hear her talk, I'm like, okay, she's a little kid. And I'm not giving in to her even a little bit. You can demand, you can ask, you can want. You're lucky you got a job. You're lucky the league took you back after sitting out. I mean, look, the WNBA women have shown themselves to be morons. And I'm sorry that I have to say it, but it's something that everybody knows. You can defend them. Hell, the other day I said Asia Wilson's game we've seen. And somebody called me racist. Why? We've seen Asia Wilson's game. We haven't seen Caitlin Clark's game. I'm looking forward to seeing Juju Watkins and what she could be. We haven't really seen her game. But damn, we've seen the rest. We've seen Angel Reese try to throw a ball and make a layup. We've seen that for years in the WNBA, and that's why for 27 years no one cared until Caitlin Clark came about. All right, money has suddenly become the one talking point. Interesting. Regarding the WNBA, after who? Caitlin Clark. Why is Caitlin Clark so popular? Not because she's white or straight. Because she's got game, real game that people go, whoa, look at this. And she's not an idiot. She's not a sexist, not a racist. She deals with all these clowns with grace. That's what she does, and I hope Juju Watkins learns from her, not these other idiots. Because Juju Watkins is the next big thing. She plays at USC. We'll see. But anyway, after Clark sold out arenas across the country, money became the thing, right? Cloud has had nothing to do, not one single thing to do with the WNBA growing fandom and viewership numbers, not only over the last year, but forever. In fact, Cloud and her ilk are the ones that have lessened the money, lessened the TV ratings. And now they're just being exposed. And it's sad, really, because if these women would stop with the stupid and get together, I don't know, man, good things could happen. Maybe, it seems like, but you know what? People don't understand that. People don't get working together. People want it to be about them, me, I, me, I. Instead of us and we. If you want to know how the league can grow, that's how the league can grow. Us, we, us. Me, I demand. Oh, shut up. You've done nothing to grow the league. In fact, you've hurt the league. While the league is on a better trajectory, and it is, the WNBA has never made a profit in 27 years. Didn't come close to doing so in 2024 either. Losing around $40 million. My bad, over $10 million. See, this is what these clowns don't understand. Yes, they got a great deal. Yes, when Caitlin Clark came in. Yes, you should embrace it instead of tear it down. You should embrace it instead of act like idiots. No one's going to change their social justice minds because of Natasha Cloud or Asia Wilson or Caitlin Clark. No one's going to do that. No one should do that. I mean, who gives a rat's ass what a 22-year-old woman that puts a ball through a hoop says? I don't. Maybe I did when I was 21. Maybe I did when I was 24. But I've seen some things in my years. I've been involved in some things. These little girls, they haven't been involved in nothing. And now they're involved in bitching, whining, and moaning about a golden goose, about a league that is getting ready to take off even more. You know, ESPN doesn't have Major League Baseball after this year. What do you think they're going to put on there? Who do you think they're going to celebrate? I'll tell you who, the WNBA. I'll tell you this, WNBA better hope that college basketball doesn't get smart. WNBA better hope that college basketball doesn't figure out, you know what? like volleyball, like baseball, like football, like softball. We need 2 seasons. WNBA better hope that John Calipari's plan to play basketball in July and August, have major college tournaments, doesn't come to fruition, because you might be out. The NBA, the NFL, everybody is bitching, whining, and moaning. The NFL world was thrust into a frenzy. Listen to this. Thrust into a frenzy when it was real that the Green Bay Packers, oh my God, Lombardi, his team, Curly Lambeau, his team, the toughest of the tough, the sweep Ron Kramer blocking people. What? Who? No. Steve Skoronski's dad knocking people on their ass in the Super Bowl? It was thrust into a frenzy when it was revealed that the Green Bay Packers were the team that sought to ban the infamous Tush push. That's right. That revelation has once again reignited the debate on the play, and opinions are divided all across the league. The Tush push, ladies and gentlemen, the Tush push. Here is some audio on the Tush push.
I don't think it's going to be. To me, I think it's, I think it's kind of crazy that it's like, okay, so then when Patrick Ricard, the Ravens fullback, are we going to ban fullback blasts because he's really strong and tough and that's a health and safety? Like, it's football. It's football. Everybody in the league is allowed to run the play. Why is it that one team can do it and nobody else can do it? Right? Like, and by the way, the Commanders were the ones that were jumping over the line that brought attention to this initially. Like, okay, then don't jump over the line like that. Like, to me, it seems kind of crazy. I said this a few weeks ago. Like, okay, so if Tyreek Hill and Patrick Mahomes, when they're playing together, she's so fast, like, that we're risking hamstring injuries on defensive backs, like, we should ban the deep ball? Like, no. Like, it's football. That's what it is. So you
Adam Schefter talking about this is ridiculous. Schefter needs to stay in his lane and just do this. Just talk about trades, but it's football. It's just fascinating. He has no idea what it's like to be in there. He has no idea, neither do I, what it's like to be under that pile. So for him to say it's fun, I wish Schefter would just shut up and tell us about trades and then sell his phones like Woj. That'd be fun. Hey, here's my phone. Here's my phone. Now, that's what Adrian Wojnarowski's doing. He's selling his phone that he made these deals. And that's all Schefter needs to do. It's football. Shut up, little scrappy. Now, I will listen to guys that played. I will. Here you go. Here's some more.
Also, too, how soft do you have to be? Oh, we can't stop it. Our defensive tackles aren't tough enough. Our linebackers get hurt. Shut the hell up and bow your neck. Somebody get physical and stop the play. And as Mina says, though, it's like everything else in sports. If you don't have the personnel to do it, you actually don't do it. Trust me, right? Whatever team Matthew Stafford plays for next year is not implementing the tush push. Don't even trip. Don't even worry about it. Don't practice.
I mean, I'll handle that. That's fine. But did these guys have the same energy when they took away the kickoff? I mean, all this is it's because of injury. That's it. It's just injury. I don't know. The tush push ban, this Chris Sims, sounds like sour grapes. I understand the safety concerns. Now, hold on. So is it sour grapes or is it a safety issue? But we haven't seen that kind of impact. Any other team that had the Eagles' O-line would run it just as much. Seems unfair to take away something from a team for being good at it. I agree with that. Now, here's the deal. As the NFL has made its way, and they have, I will give them credit for this. They have made their way into a more safe game. I mean, think about going back, 20 years when every Monday, kids, including my son, hey, Dad, can I watch You Got Jacked Up? Yeah, go ahead, and we'll take you to school. I mean, it was big hits, guys flying around, hitting guys in the head. And then concussions and CTE happen, and the league has made it safer. So it stands to reason, at least in my mind, that if we are going to, across the board, try to make the game safer, the tush push has to at least be looked at. Now, here's the deal. I don't want to hear about one player got hurt one time, right? A player got hurt. If you look at Bo Jackson, watch Bo Jackson, the play he got hurt on. It looks like any other play. I always said this about Dale Earnhardt. Dale Earnhardt's fatal crash, I'm like, man, I remember when I saw it going, wait, I think I've seen that crash a million times and people have been okay. So I don't really want to hear about one injury. What does the data say? If the data supports what the league is doing in terms of getting rid of certain plays, kickoffs, hits out of whatever, to make the game safer, then do it. If the data doesn't support it, and you've got a couple years now of data, then screw it. Because Chris Sims is right, and Ryan Clark is right. Look, it's a play. It's in football. Stop it. Stop it. It's a play a team came up with. Others can do it. Figure out how to stop it. And I'll give the Eagles great credit. I will. I'll give the Eagles great credit for coming up with a play that in the modern era of football, with all the technology, with all the gadgets, with all the passing and all the faking and all the motion, is a play basically from your backyard where you get the big guys lining up and the big guy runs behind you right up the middle. That's it. That's what it is. How about that when you think about it that way? I'm not a fan of this play. President of the Packers, Mark Murphy, and former NFL player said there's no skill involved. Well, there's no skill in a lot of it. And it's almost automatic first down on plays of a yard or less. There used to be rules prohibiting this, but it's no longer enforced. See, I've said this. Like, I go back to when Reggie Bush pushed Matt Leinart over the goal line to beat Notre Dame to save an undefeated season or whatever it was for USC. I remember thinking there was a big debate on, is that legal? And now I watch, and a guy gets stood up, and here comes the big lineman shoving him forward. When did this start? I've asked this of many, many people on this show. I've asked this on every show that I've been on. When did this start that we just shove people forward? I always thought that was illegal. But apparently it's not. There used to be rules prohibiting this, but it is no longer enforced because it was thought to be too hard for the officials to see. The play's bad for the game. We should go back to prohibiting the push of the runner. I don't disagree with that. Meaning, if you're going to stop the tush push, then stop those pushes where a guy gets another 6-7 yards because big fatties come in behind, or allow it the other way. I get stood up, forward progress is stopped, it seems, and then the defense pushes me back. I'll let that happen then. Why do we I know the answer. We let them go forward because we want more offense. This would bring back the traditional quarterback sneak that worked pretty well for Bart Starr and the Packers in the Ice Bowl. Really? We're going to the Ice Bowl. We're going to the 60s? Okay. All right. That'd be like in the 60s going back to the turn of the century. Like, what are you doing? I'm all in on what you're saying, Mark Murphy, but don't go back. I know you're the Packers guy, and I know it's the Packers. Don't get me wrong. All right, well, Democrats like Jen Psaki, I like calling him Psaki, say that Jemele Hill has the best analogy for what Democrats need to do right now. The party, they just might be toast. Watch as two woke gaspads hopped on a podcast to discuss advice on how Democrats can win election. Brace your ears for some word salad and stupidity. Democrats need to stop worrying about the people hating outside the club. All right, here we go. Two morons discussing, well, a moronic political party.
There's millions of people who should be supporting Democrats who did not turn out. Like, let's talk about those people. They seem more gettable.
When you have to win the turnout game, that means you have to win the passion and enthusiasm game. The way you win that game is you got to go harder for the things you believe in. You don't go the other way. The people that didn't vote for you or chose to vote for Donald Trump or our Trump supporters ain't voting for you. Give up on those people to some degree. In terms of turning out your people, Worry about your people. Is this a producer I had when I was at ESPN that gave me this brilliant analogy that I've never forgotten when it came to attracting viewers. And he said, you got to think of yourself as throwing a party. And you throwing the dopest party you could possibly think of. People in VIP, they popping bottles. You having a great time. You know who you don't worry about? The people hating outside the club. That's who you don't worry about. Because you know what'll happen? They gonna look through the windows and be like, damn, we want to get in that party. It looks fun. Don't worry about them. Democrats need to stop worrying about the people hating outside the club. They pay too much attention to them. Worry about the people inside the club.
It's always the club. I mean, all right, outside the club. Everybody tries to be so cool. Like guys that are analysts on TV and basketball always try, and football always act like they tried to coach. And these dorky ass, women try to act like the club. Okay. Yeah, don't worry about people outside the club. There you go. That's good advice. Okay. Since Trump burst on the scene, the political scene 8 years ago, liberals have been about one thing and one thing only: hating the big, bad, orange man. That's it. That's it. That's all they've talked about. They have got no policies. They tried to cheat. The entire Biden administration was about winning this election, flying in illegals, trying to sign up illegals. It was Obamophone part 2. When the only message that you deliver is to hate someone or to kill babies or to let criminals in, you lose your appeal. I don't care whether in the club or out of the club. The club is the club. I mean, when that's all you got, Jen Psaki and Jemele Hill, you got nothing. You have absolutely nothing, not a single thing. The voters that are in the club of the Democratic Party resounded with nobody outside the club. People always try to get in the club. You got to worry about people getting in the club, but you couldn't because no one was waiting. You know how there's that line everybody says, oh, man, we got to wait in line to get in the club? There was nobody in line. There's nobody. Because what was going on in the club was horseshit, bad, stupid, idiotic, divisive. No plan. A bad plan, if there was a plan. A plan to let criminals in. What? A plan to raise taxes. A plan to raise prices. A plan for nothing that helped us inside or outside the club. Jemele Hill and Jen Psaki trying to be cool with the club. What are they, like 50 each of them? Oh, boy. Anyway, and even when they rarely say what they advocate for, it's for dumb nonsense, like saying killing babies is fine, or that men should compete in women's sports, or that we should call mothers inseminated persons. Inseminated persons. Does that mean I'm the great inseminator? Does I walk around with this bad boy locked and loaded? Am I going to get in the Elon Musk Insemination Hall of Fame? I mean, Elon Musk, Nick Cannon, Sean Kemp, basically every NBA guy. Hey, seriously, what's that guy, Tyreek Hill? That one guy that played for the Colts, he couldn't even name his own kid's name. He was a cornerback. Antonio Cromartie. He's an inseminator. Yeah. Man, that governor. Hey, let me go back to that governor for just a second. The Wisconsin governor wants a woman to inseminated, I don't know. But I got to ask you, inseminated persons, why? Why do that? Seriously, I'm asking all the millions out there that watch this show, why do that? What are you getting out of that? You think the dude up in Green Bay that watches football, eats sausage, hunts, and fishes, wait, what? Inseminate. This person's an idiot. You think the person in Eau Claire, I get it. You may have some in Madison, the liberal-ass town of University of Wisconsin may say, yeah, inseminating person. Yay. Are you crazy? Anyway, there's a reason Trump won the election. He had more to offer. He had more to offer the Democrats, and he brought an America First common sense approach to running the damn country and didn't spew stupid nonsense. It's that simple. And I don't know if that's in the club, out of the club, where the club is. I don't know if that's with a club. I don't know. I was looking for my club. But what I do know is the level of stupidity from Jen Psaki and Jemele Hill and everybody on the left, my God, wake up. I would love for it to be a common sense party against a common sense party, and let's debate common sense. Hell, in Indiana, we had a lady that ran for everything. I think she ran for governor. I think then she ran for secretary. I don't know. And the only thing she ever said, her name was Destiny Wells, was abortion's good. Oh, okay. Jesus. I should run everything. Paul Feinbaum believes the hype and the level of expectation surrounding Arch Manning. He thinks that Arch Manning and the hype of Arch Manning could surpass that of Tim Tebow. What? Young Manning is slated to be Texas's starting quarterback. All right, young Manning, here's what Feinbaum has to say. Now, you got to understand before I go to this, everybody in the media, certainly at ESPN, has to be positive about Arch Manning. Why? Because of Peyton and Eli. When you are an attraction on Monday Night Football, when you are one of the big things on Monday Night Football, that's the biggest deal on ESPN. Omaha Productions, Manning's. You're not going to go on ESPN and say, yeah, I don't think Arch is very good. When I saw Archie Manning throw, I thought he was okay. I thought if his name was Arch Dakich, he'd be a good recruit. Not great, but it's Manning. And he's got the little cute hair and blah, blah. And he seems like a tough, nice kid, though. So I'm rooting for him. But we shall see. I believe that not since Tim Tebow have we had something that is aligned with Arch Manning. The expectations, this is true, are going to be wild. As wild as we've ever seen since Menzel or Tebow. Maybe worse because the current state of the media was social media. I don't claim to know Arch Manning. I know everyone else in his family. I've talked to his grandfather recently when we were in New Orleans, and I think there's never been a player more prepared and ready for what he's about to face. Yeah, Tebow, if you're more prepared and ready than Tebow, I saw Tebow Mania in person, but I'm not going to lie to you. It wasn't any bigger than Damon Bailey at Indiana playing basketball. For those of you that don't know the story, Bailey was in the number one selling sports book in the history of sports. It was called Season on the Brink as an 8th grader. And, you know, the hype surrounding him led to 50,000 people in the Hoosier Dome watching his last high school game. I mean, we've seen this before, and we'll see. Manning wins. Manning's good. Manning will have all of it. Tebow won. Perfect combination. Tebow, everybody at Florida, and Urban Meyer. I saw it. I went down to a game there. Urban had me, my son, my nephew in, and we went. Great time, and we watched how Tebow had to always be surrounded when he was at Griffin Stadium, Ben Hill Stadium, whatever the hell you call it, Ben Griffin Hill, whatever it was, with a couple cops. Good for him. Couldn't leave the normal way. Had to go up past the coach's office. Good. File this under. What the fuck you do? I'm sorry. What the hell you doing, Indiana fans? What are you doing, Indiana basketball fans? 2 Indiana Pacer fans. It filed a lawsuit against the Milwaukee Bucks and former Buck Patrick Beverly for an incident at the end of the 2024 playoff series after Beverly threw a ball at them, claiming they were experiencing humiliation in the light of an assault. You're yelling and screaming at a player. You're lucky you didn't get knocked the hell out. You're sitting behind the bench. You're acting like a jackass. You're yelling. You're screaming. You're acting like a fool. You're lucky you did not get the hell knocked out. Instead, you just got a ball thrown at you. Nobody got hurt. Nothing happened. There's video of it. I hope a judge in the great state of Indiana, Marion County, where I live, throws this thing out so fast, so freaking fast. People are mad at me for saying this on social media because I live in Indiana, and apparently we don't like Patrick Beverly. Look, Patrick Beverly kicked my ass at Arkansas when I was a head coach at Indiana. He made an All-American and top 5 or 10 pick Eric Gordon look scared to death. He intimidated the crap out of him. I've been following Patrick Beverly since high school when he committed to my rival, Toledo. I didn't like it, and I was very happy to see him leave and go to Arkansas. But anyway, all Patrick Beverly did was throw a ball into the crowd. You'll be all right, Indiana fans. Jeez. We believe that the Bucks fostered a culture of misconduct by their players without any repercussions, says their attorney John Kautzman, according to the Indiana lawyer. I'm going to find this out. Kautzman. Bucks official didn't respond to requested comments, and, well, Beverly couldn't be reached. Not fair at all, Beverly said. Engaged between a fan and our ball club all night. We warned and asked for help all night. Not fair, but I have to be better, and I will. That was after the game. See, he shouldn't have said a word. You commit a crime, you do something that's close, you shut up, you button it up. You're not going to get out of it by posting on Twitter. So these Indiana fans are filing a lawsuit. They're saying humiliation. Well, just because you buy a ticket doesn't mean you get to call a guy, a girl, anybody, every name in the book. You're lucky you didn't get knocked the hell out. You are. You're lucky you didn't get knocked the absolute hell out. Yeah. In a rather surprising twist, gasbag and loudmouth Stephen A. Smith is defending Philadelphia 76ers coach Nick Nurse. Good for him. Amidst an abysmal season. Look, the season with the Sixers was going to be abysmal the minute they paired up Joel Embiid with Paul George. Going on to encourage the Sixers coach to smoke weed, drink alcohol as an apparent coping mechanism to deal with the stress caused by Philadelphia's lost season. Now, I've never smoked weed, but I got to tell you, drinking booze after losses, it works. It doesn't work all night, though. That's the problem. See, you drink booze after a loss, and I had plenty of them my last couple of years at Bowling Green. It helps you for a while. It actually, for me, gave me some thoughts that I used to win games. But then you wake up. And you got a headache, and you're like, oh, man, I'm dealing with a loss. So let's hear from Stephen A. Smith, who's never coached a game in his life, never done anything other than talk in his life. But let's hear from Stephen A. Smith.
I'm getting concerned about Nick Nurse. Listen, you have heard me say, Shannon, Tim Legler, stay off the weed. I'm encouraging him to get on some, based on everything that I've heard weed does. Now, damn it, it's legal in various states throughout the United States of America recreationally. Damn it, go ahead and use it. And if you see Nick Nurse getting a drink after games at a bar, damn it, don't treat him like Jimmy the Greek. Go look at your history and what I'm talking about. Leave him alone. Leave him alone. You understand? Let him drink. Let him drink. Let him smoke some weed. Let him do whatever, because this coach right here, you can't be more depressed than this man is. You come there, you're a champion as a coach. Nick Nurse can coach his butt off. That man knows what he's doing. He's a hell of a coach, okay? This is no indication of his gifts as a basketball mind. This is evidence of what happens when you are bereft of talent, because the talent that you paid, that you relied upon, that you trust, hasn't shown up. I can't imagine how depressed this man is. As a matter of fact, when you look at Joel Embiid, I believe Paul George would have took the 3 years and stayed in Los Angeles if he knew this Embiid was going to be his teammate, because Embiid is just not healthy. He can barely walk. It is horrible in Philadelphia with no reprieve in sight.
Yeah, I mean, that's ESPN on national TV telling people to smoke weed and drink booze. Good for ESPN. It's so ridiculous. All right, here's the deal. Imagine having a family member ask how your flight was, only to have to respond, listen to it. Listen to me here. I had to sit next to a dead person. How about that? This couple ended up sitting next to the body of a passenger who died midway through their flight. What? And they had to sit there for 4 hours next to a dead guy. How would you respond? I don't know. I guess I would just do it. When does the stank come in? It was pretty heartbreaking to watch. That's right. It was pretty heartbreaking. This guy Ring said on A Current Affair, they went to try and move her. They brought this chair down. They tried to wheel her up towards business class, but she was a biggin', and they couldn't get her through the aisle. The couple claimed that the cabin crew told them they had to remain in their seats next to the body for the 4 hours left of the flight. There were a few spare seats I could see around us. I can't believe they told us to stay. It wasn't nice. I don't pretend to know the inner workings of a flight, and maybe the folks couldn't move because of the balance of the plane. I don't know. But I know this, unless there was one hell of a reason, and that reason was the plane could go down, I'm letting those people get the hell away from a dead body. Can I ask you a question? Why don't we have common sense on flights? Like, why when we're stuck at a terminal can't we get everybody off when we know it's going to be a couple hours? Why do we have, I'm sure there are reasons, and I'm legitimately asking this question. Why do we have these silly-ass rules for airlines? Like, you're sitting out there on the tarmac waiting for the gate. I've sat as long as 2 hours. I'm like, yo, why can't we just walk to the damn gate? It's right there. Why can't we just do that? Then you pull it in, you get the luggage off, and hey, but at least we're not sitting there. I don't get it. But I'll tell you this, if my ass was sitting on the plane next to a dead person for 4 hours. I've never asked for anything. Like, I've never asked for a refund of a bad meal. I've never asked for nothing. Although Sunday nights when I was single after divorce, I used to call the cable company and try to get a better deal, and it always worked. Pro tip, just call them. Hey, look, I don't like my bill. I'm thinking about moving. Well, let's see what we can do for you. Well, I'll tell you what. I remember one year I got NFL ticket for free. I tell you what, Dan, you've been a good customer. We'll give you an NFL ticket. Thank you. But I've never asked for anything. But I got to tell you, if I sat next to a dead body, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you? If it was for 4 hours, I don't even care if it was 10 minutes, what are you going to do? But if it was for 4 hours and there were a couple seats over there that were open and they didn't let me make that move, I don't know, man. I might be asking for some cash. If nothing else, I would be asking for, I don't know, how about a flight voucher or two? How about somewhere, anywhere around the world or anything, something? For me and a +1, I'll +1 my ass off. Or I'll find Lee and we'll +1 this thing all the way to Paris and other places. Now, seriously. Damn. 4 hours. Hey, there's a stank over here. What is it? That's the dead gal. She gotten big. Well, we can't move her because she's too big. Can't get her down the aisle. Imagine how big you got to be not to get down the aisle. I'm not trying to make fun of it. I'm not. I don't want to make fun of it. I don't. But damn. I mean, at some point, Tommy Tuberville, the great senator, is going to join us. Why is Auburn a basketball school? MSNBC letting Joy Reid go. We're going to get into some stuff. Let me tell you what we're going to get into. We're going to get into Coach Tuberville, his thoughts on Joy Reid. We're going to get into the Eagles accepting an invite. Everybody said they didn't. Liberal governors eventually complying. That's my biggest question. Look, I've said this before, and I'll say this again. Donald Trump, when you have everybody following your policies, that's one thing. That's one thing. But now Maine and others are standing up. How are you going to do it? What are you going to do? You made all these bold boasts about how things are going to be. All right, now you're being challenged. I said the same thing about the Democrats. I did the same thing. It's easy when everybody is pushing in the same direction. Now we got some pulling. How are you going to respond? What are you going to do? You've talked big. I want to get to Tommy Tuberville and find that out. That's coming up at 10. Bobby Barack coming up as well. When we come back, man, I got a lot of crazy stuff for you. I do. You're going to like it.